This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. We're at AUM Framing and Gallery. For over 25 years, they have been showcasing your art and also featuring local artists, upcoming, and favorites. I am here with Trevor. Why don't we begin, first of all? Share with me a little bit how you got involved in this gallery.
Oh, sure. Actually, I purchased this from the original owners the end of 2009, beginning of 2010. They actually had never taken a vacation together. They had worked so hard in making AUM what it is today. And so they wanted to retire and do some traveling. And I kind of came across them and worked with them for a couple of months. Really loved what I saw about the business and everything they did. And everything was finalized really like February of 2010.
Wonderful. You love what you saw. Artists have been loving obviously what the staff has been doing here for many years. Why do you think? Is it the experience, possibly the attention to detail, quality? Is that why a lot of galleries and artists trust the folks here?
It is. It's actually a combination of all those things. And it isn't just galleries and artists. Obviously, over the last few years, a lot of galleries have closed down. Many of the larger galleries we used to work with in Cherry Creek no longer exist. We also do a lot of work for commercial and obviously a lot of retail. We're kind of like a destination frame store because we've been around for so long and we've got a great reputation. Not only do we get a lot of repeat clientele, but obviously, they pass the word along to friends and associates. And so we get a lot of business actually referred to us from our existing clientele.
Before we start speaking of some of the gallery here, why don't we talk about framing a little bit? I see numerous samples on the wall. Share with me some of the material that you're able to provide for. Are we talking about wood? I see different types and styles. How many samples do you have on the walls here?
Actually, we've never really counted because it does vary a lot. We like to bring in new lines once they're available. Sometimes we'll take down something that maybe hasn't sold for a couple of years. But right now, actually, we normally have probably one of the largest selections in the Denver metro area. We also do our own line of steel frames. And we also work with a company out of Peru who offers handmade leather frames. So we have a very, very large selection of things that are available. We've never had anything come in that we couldn't find something suitable for.
Customized framing, are you able to provide the custom matting here as well?
Yes, I mean basically we do everything. And everything's done here on site. Most of the framers who work here are getting on more than 20 years experience in some cases. So we're able not only to do kind of what people expect as a normal frame store does, but we also get lots of referrals from other frame stores because we can do a lot of things that most frame stores can't even think of doing, including some extremely, very, very large pieces. And some things where there's a little bit of engineering involved. For instance, we recently had someone come in with a 21-foot long Asian scroll. Most stores couldn't do that. We actually haven't yet framed it. We gave the gentleman 3 different options, each engineered slightly differently, each with some different price levels. So he's still thinking about which one he wants to go with.
Obviously, you're able to do art. We're talking about canvas art, paint, acrylics, that type of thing. What about textiles, memorabilia, that type of thing?
Yeah, basically, if it can be framed, we do it. We've got actually someone on staff who is a quilter. So for textiles, she's our expert there. So we basically sew tack everything, not only to minimize the sew tack showing, but to make sure that we're not actually doing anything to the textile that would be bad for it. We've actually framed some very, very large objects. Basically, if a frame can be built around it, we can do it.
Speaking of a frame around it, very popular, especially with interior designers anymore, is customized mirrors. Do you do that as well?
We do. Same thing. We can offer like very, very simple frames around mirrors or things that are extremely intricate and very, very elegant. So we've produced mirrors that have become kind of centerpieces of rooms.
As far as the gallery itself, you're a host many times a year to a lot of shows. How many shows you do in a year usually?
It varies, but it averages around 8 or 9 shows. At least one of those shows is a charity show. We work with East High, and for the last couple of years, we've been kind of like one of the sponsoring organizations for the East High Art Walk. And what we do is we actually choose from various media that the students have created a number of pieces. I think last year we had probably about 80 pieces that we then framed. And then during the art walk and for the intervening, well, the weeks that followed that, the art is hung and it's actually up for sale. So 70% of the sale goes back to the student and 30% goes back to East High's art department. Obviously, we really want to see art flourish in schools, and so this is a way of helping them fund it a little bit.
Those opening night receptions are pretty popular here, I imagine. You fill up the place. Do you make the events available online? What's the best way for people to know about those?
We do. They're on our website, the AUM Gallery site, under events. We also typically advertise in the local newspapers, and then we hit a lot of the online sites as well, and also Facebook. So we try and advertise as much as possible. If we're doing a show with a number of artists, we do group shows which sometimes have 30, 35 different artists. Obviously they're also sending that out to their email lists. So there's a number of ways we try and get the word out. We still find though people come along and they haven't been to a show before, and once they're here, they really like it. The fact that when we're working with emerging artists especially, we get some great original art at some very reasonable prices.
So you're able to basically provide for the retail community out there as well as corporate, and basically maybe somebody who they've got a lobby or an office, they want to put some art in. Are you available for consultation for that as well?
Absolutely, yeah, and we've done consults, we've done sourcing of art for a number of commercial clients. We also work a lot with interior designers, so if a company is actually working with a designer, we have no problems, obviously, the designer coming in. He or she can be involved in the process as much as they want. If they want to choose the frames, that's fine. If they're looking for some assistance, we'll kind of help them along, and obviously, price things up in terms of fitting in within that company's budget.
Wonderful. In the gallery here, all of the art can be purchased, is that correct?
That's correct. In between shows, we sometimes actually showcase just some pieces that we've put together to kind of show some of the different things we do. So sometimes, that isn't for sale, although we have had people come in and ask, and sure. If it looks like they really want it, I mean, almost anything is for sale. But certainly when the shows are up, everything is for sale.
Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, like you said, you can click right there on Facebook, be apprised of some of the shows they've got coming up. You can also click right there and put in for a newsletter. Their newsletter will let you know some of the artists they're showcasing down here, also let you know possibly some framing tips, what have you, for your art. They've been serving the area for a quarter of a century here in Denver, and basically a lot of new exciting things happening, a lot going on here. Let me ask you one thing. I noticed not only do we have framing as well as showcasing some art on the wall, but we've actually got some furniture as well.
We do, and actually it's a combination. The company out of Peru who makes the leather frames for us also do make leather home accessories and leather furniture. One of the framers on staff, who is a sculptor, has a welding background as well. And so some of the pieces we have the handmade leather tabletops with a custom sculpted steel base. We also do some things internally in wood and steel as well.
Excellent. As far as your staff goes, it seems like probably quite a bit of experience here under one roof. Obviously for the local artists, showcasing their art, yet at the same time not overwhelming it.
That's exactly right, and actually, one of the good things is, because we have so much experience, we often look for younger people who want to come and start to learn from some of the folks who work here, and we have a really nice young lady right now who's actually still studying, but comes in part time. And we love being able to kind of pass along our expertise and our knowledge to what we see as the next generation of framers.
Wonderful. Next generation of framers right here in Denver, Colorado. They've been serving you for over a quarter of a century. Completely located right here in Denver. Check out their website right on the bottom of the screen right there. You can also see their contact information. Reach out to them via email if you have any questions out there about basically maybe wanting to put a piece of your work here on the walls. Like they say, he's hosting over usually 9 shows per year, so it gives you an ample opportunity to come on down, take a look at some local artists here. That is AUM Framing and Gallery, located in Denver, Colorado. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.